So what we are doing, we are adding few more variables today in our site reducer, and the variable is the geoinfo, which has the IP, latitude, longitude, city, county, state, and country. So generally I will get this data from this IP, but if user has accepted the location change current geo, then few of the details I will try to gather from the current geo. And if he has disabled it, then I will take all data from the IP data. So for each one, I want to update it in the case statement in the reducer. So when I create this update part of the state for the IP, first I will take the state. That means I will take all whatever is present here. Then I want to update the geoinfo. If I try to put here like IP equal to action.payload, because data will come in the form of payload, then it will overwrite all the things with this IP and I will lose all this information. So to keep this information, what should I put here? So that I can first take all this information and then update the IP. Anyone knows it? No, we cannot take geoinfo.ip. I want to update. First I want to gather all this information and then update only the IP. IP I showed you just now how to update IP. Okay, but I need to first take all this data and then I should update with IP. So question is how to get all this previous data here. Like we are getting it here, the whole state data. Then we are updating whatever we want. Similarly, if you want to update the geoinfo, we have to get all this data. Action is something which comes from the front end or from the React or from the main component. If I do action.geoinfo, I will not know what information is here. I want to gather it here only, directly here. So how will you take directly? If you take state.geoinfo, it will not work. So I will tell you, since no one is knowing it. So first we have to grab this current all information. To grab this all information, we have to say state.geoinfo. And then we need to update whatever we need to update. We can update it. So for example, we need to update IP. I will update IP as action.payload, whatever payload will come. So what this is doing is you're updating the IP in my information. Similarly, let's update this latitude and longitude. So I will do case user latitude and longitude. We will do in one go this one. So before I write down the altitude longitude, just add this information in your code base and add this part and try to do this yourself. And I want to see how you are doing it. And if you cannot do in 2 minutes, I will let you know how to do this. Okay, so Sonu Singh has at least tried this part, which is not 100% right, but at least he has tried and others have not yet tried it. So let me write down the right solution. So we'll start with the state equal to state and geoinfo will be state.geoinfo. Okay, state.geoinfo. Since we need to update latitude, longitude both, so I will pass latitude. If Sonu Singh has put or Kate has put only the latitude, Sonu Singh put latitude equal to action.payload and longitude equal to action.payload. So both cannot be one value. You know, latitude is different, longitude is different. You cannot have both the things as the same value. So you have to pass in the payload as object, and object will be latitude and longitude. This payload is up to you. However you want, you can send the data. You can send a string, you can send new number, you can send anything. So in the previous case, we are sending only the one string value, that is the IP. But in this case, we are sending object with latitude and longitude, and we are updating latitude and longitude. Let's try to update the city, county, and state. So let me copy this, and here I will say user city. Though it is saying city, but I will be updating city, county, state, and country in one go. So I will be putting city, then there's a county, then there is a state, and there is a country. Okay, so we are updating city, county, state, and country if we have something, and we will be calling city. So just write down this case and this case in 1 minute, and then we'll go further. So here what I'm doing, I'm trying to put the information geoinfo, because though I have data here and IP data and current geo, but based on the this is the information, just I'll keep it here. But the main thing is which I will look is here. So maybe after a few days I will though I'm putting the data here, I will avoid putting the data in these two places. I will just use this place for the data. I will not I will delete this list. Right now I'm just putting it for learning point of view. that we have data here in the Redux and we can use it anytime. But since the main information is here, so I will be putting information here. Okay, so that's why I created this new part. Though this will be later on gone, I will not use it. But for now, let it be there for our learning purpose. Next thing which I want is, so if I have IP, I will update the IP. If I have latitude, longitude, I will update latitude, longitude. If I have user city, I will update this one. But if I have all the information, I can update all the information in one go. So I can say user all. Maybe I will put all so that I can update all the information in one go. So that will be, I will putting all the information in one go. So if I have all the information at one time, I can update it at one go by calling user all. But if I don't have all the information at one time, I can get this, update it, I can get this, update it, I can get this, update it. If I have all, I will use this one. So just add one more case of user all. Okay, so I just created the reducer. I will be using this information soon. Just I put it here. Now let's complete our geo part. So what happened when I call this geo file? When I call geo file, we have in the use effect we call the get location function, which has the success message and the error. So let's rename it to success. Otherwise, you may get problem. What is this? Handle success, and rename this as handle error. So just because for the namesake, it makes it little easy. Handle success, and this is handle error. So error function is, I just write it here as a console.log, and the success function is the current geo which I created in the action. And instead of the success, I'm passing this current geo which is in the action. And then we will move to that success function now. So once user loads the page, we get the geolocation and we get the current position. And this current position will be passed to the handle success. And we have to put all our code now in the handle success. If I go to the handle success, I will get the latitude and longitude of the user. And I get the URL, based on this URL, I will get the location of the user. So the location is coming in the record format. Now let's work more on this record to finish our code. Okay, so we have to do like this. Okay, so we got the record now. Okay, now what we have to do, so this record is pretty much complicated. We need to shape the record. We need to make it workable condition. Let's see how the record format is. Let me open the page. So if you see, this is the record, and if I open the record, we have so much information. I don't need all this information. I will just trim to whatever I need, and I will use that only for my purpose. So I need the city, I need the country code US. I don't need this whole name. Country code. I need the city country code. Let's see what we need. Latitude is already there. What latitude we got? We got latitude this, but they converted into this. So let's have the latitude also, and let's have longitude also. We need the state, and what else we need? And we need the county. County is coming here. No, this is country. This is state. This is county. 1 second. Okay, so county is coming here. So we can go through and loop into it to get the county, but I'm not very much particular about getting the county. So better is I will see whatever I'm getting it here directly. I will take that. Okay, so let's try to take that. Okay, so what things we need? Let me create a new object, and I will put in that whatever only I need. So maybe I will need city, I want state, I want country. Let's forget about county now. I will remove the county from this also, reducer also. Because though we can get the county, but we have to do some extra work, and if really we need it, we will do that extra work. Otherwise, let's remove it. City, state, country. Because in IP data, we don't get the county. So anyhow, if we don't put county also, then it's fine. Okay, city, state, country, latitude. Okay, it will be record dot city. Okay, let's try to put everything here, and then we'll grab it. City and state is this one. Principal subdivision. And what is the country? Country, this country code. I'll just put country code. If you want, you can put country name also, whatever you prefer. You prefer full name, you can put that one. Let's put full name. Otherwise, many country, I don't know what is the name of country is there. So let's put the latitude. Let's put the longitude. So here I will name LNG. Postcode. Let's put the postcode. Okay. Let's put the postcode is coming. I will put postcode also. Since postcode is also coming, let's update postcode also if we get it. Okay. So let's put postcode. I will update this postcode here. And this also, I will, instead of county, I will update the postcode because we are getting it. Okay, we got the postcode. What else? Yeah, that's it. We don't need much. Okay, we got all the information which we need. So we have city, state, country, latitude, longitude, postcode. Okay. Let's move this. Let's remove the IP from this here. Okay, IP should be in the IP part because we are not getting IP here in this one. So I need to update. I need to call the reducer, but I don't want to call IP here. So in the user all, I remove the IP part. Now I will trigger this user all with this information. Okay, let's dispatch. Type equal to user all, and the payload will be this object. Okay, let's see now how it is working. Okay, so I trigger the user all, and we will see the new state of user of GeoInfo, and GeoInfo as city, country, latitude, longitude, postal code, state is there, right? So we got that one in the GeoInfo. Now let's put this information in the database, okay? Because once latitude and longitude, I will be querying with latitude, longitude. I will be querying with latitude and longitude. So with that latitude, longitude, I will get this information same again and again. So if the user is same, I don't want to query this one again and again. So I will put all this information in the database, and I will get it from there if it's available, and if it's not available, then I will query it again. Okay, so let's put this information in the database. So before I put this information database, just you create this object from this record and dispatch this. Okay, so we will just complete this in 1 minute, and then we will put it in the database. Is it done? Okay. So now let's put this in the database. Okay. So to put in the database, I will say, as usual, we repeat this every time. We start with the post parse.object dot extend, and I have to give the name of the table where I will put the details, and the name of the table you can choose your own name, whatever you want. I will put as a user's location. Okay, I give it this name. Whatever name you choose, you can choose. Then another will be post is equal to new post. Okay, then we have to set everything like post dot set latitude. First I will set latitude. So latitude which I will set is this one, this part. This one is the modified latitude, which I don't need it because this may be different for different user. So I don't want to put this one. I will just put this latitude here. Next thing will be, and remember, so put this as parse float, otherwise sometimes it will take as string. So let's make it float. Same thing will be for the longitude. We will put it as parse float longitude. Let's add more things. Maybe I will say city. I will put city. I'll put state. I'll put country. I'll put postal code. And city will be nothing but this object.city. I'll say object.city. I can also say record.city. Either way is fine. Both the things are same actually. Whatever you want, you can put it. Okay. And if you remember, we did something in case of IP data. Okay, let's go and see what we did in the IP data. Where is that data, IP data part? We run this here and I upload the data, payload is the data. Okay, we run it in the cloud. So let's see the code in the cloud. Yeah, you remember we created this geo part. Let's create this geo part also. Okay, when I will take this geo part, I will take this latitude and longitude so that I have access of this also and this also if I need. I'll just take latitude as record.latitude and longitude as record.longitude. So I created one geo part also. I will add few more things in this post dot set deleted, or I don't need deleted part, sorry, just don't need to put deleted or status or updated anything. I don't need user part also. I will just put ACL so that who can edit it. Constant ACL equal to new parse.acl. Then I say ACL dot set role write access. Write access is to the administrator only. No one can write it except me. Also read part, that is anyone can read it. public read access to true. I want others only to read it, and I can write it. Post.set ACL, and I will put the ACL here. Then will be await post.save. So once we save this information like this, in this site current geo, I will pass this post. Okay, so that site current geo will be nothing but whatever we get from the database. Also remember one thing. Let me comment this right for now, because if I do it, multiple records will be added in the database, and I don't want multiple records now. So this is the information we put in the database. So just write down this from this post till here. Maybe you can also comment it, but I will uncomment in few minutes. Okay, just I have commented because I don't want to trigger this now. Okay, just I'll give you 2 minutes to finish this one. Is it possible to create this 2 query line globally, and we can use every time where we want? You know, you can do this, put it in some common function, and you can call it from that common function, but I will strongly recommend to put these 2 lines again and again. That way each one is isolated, and you will get habit of creating a new table like this or new record like this. You can put globally anything. It's a JavaScript. Think and do it. Put these 2 lines in a function, call that function anytime, but I prefer to write this every time. Is it done? Okay, so there is one change I am trying to do. If you have written it's okay, but we'll do one change here. Let's do this parse float here only. Okay, here only we'll do parse float. And okay, why not I will check what is coming the type of this one and then we'll decide. So I will just do console.log type of this. So let me check what type is coming. If it is already float, then I don't need to do anything. I don't need to do it here also if it is float. So let me double check what is the type coming. Okay, let me refresh. So it's coming number, that is it is floating condition only. Okay, so we don't need to do anything. So let's remove the float and see. Let's remove this float part. We don't need actually the float part. Okay, so everyone is done. Okay, let's double check now. And okay, so before I uncomment this too, I will check in the database if we have this record already. If we have this record, I will not even query this URL because I have data already in the database. So why should I query this URLs? I want to avoid as much as possible to query this URL. I can query my database fine. I can do on my server, anything is fine, but query to other server is too much. I don't want to do that part. Okay, so let's try to first query it on this table and see if we have that here. So before even calling this URL, I will query here. So I'll create a new query, const query equal to, let's see what is the query statement. Okay, new parse query. New parse dot query, and I will say users location. Then I'll give query dot equal to, first I will check the latitude part because I put this latitude with latitude which I get here, and then I'll check longitude. Okay, these two things I will check and I'll get the result for that. I will use first because I need only one record. I don't need multiple record. If I need multiple record, I will use find. But since I need only one record, then I will do result. Query dot first. And if we get the result, that means something is in the database. So if something is in the database, we need to dispatch this part like we dispatch here. We need to dispatch with this result. Okay. Also, we need to dispatch this part. Okay. So let's build this part. So instead of object, I will build another object, or I can build here new object, another object. Okay, and I will pass this new object here. And how to create the new object? I will take the record from the database. Previously, I was having the record in the format of record. Now we will get it from the database in the result format. So to get the city, what should I write here? Can anyone tell me? Because now the result is coming from the database and city is one of the field in the database. So now to get the city, what should I write here? Okay. New object is not yet created. Rakesh, I cannot use new object here. We have to get the city from result because the data which coming from the database is result. Right. Kate is right. It's result dot get city. This is the format we get in the from the database. You know, we are dealing with the parse server. Parse server gives this method to access the data. If you are dealing with the MySQL, the way to retrieve is different. If you are using the MongoDB, the way to get the data is different. Since we are using the parse server, so we have to follow their instructions how to get the data. Everyone has this documentation. You have to go through the documentation and see how to get the data. Okay, so for this one, I will copy first like this, and then I will put it like that. Okay, so to get the city, I will get the city. To get the state, I will get the state. To get the country, I will get the country. And in the latitude longitude, we are putting this whole big latitude longitude. So okay, so to get the latitude longitude, we need to get it from this geo part, right? So let's put geo now, and we will go into documentation to see how to get the latitude and longitude. For the postcode, I will get the postcode. Okay, only thing now to get the latitude longitude from the geo field, because we saved in the geo field this latitude longitude, and to retrieve it there is a special method, and I don't remember that method. We will go to the documentation. So let me search this parse.geopoint. Sorry, now this is geopoint. Let's see geopoint. So this is how we add the geopoint. Okay, while querying, we get the location. Okay, I'm just checking how to convert. How to retrieve it, that is the point. How to retrieve it. Once we get the geo point, how to convert into. Okay, here I don't see it. So let me see. Let me see if I can find. But their documentation is, not 100%. They have tried to put many things, but they have missed many things. So we need to Google it, or we need to see what we can do. Let me see. I have already used it in one of my projects. I'm just checking that project. 1 second. Education geo. Okay, I'll just go through my old project and see how I've used it. Okay, so Let me, because it's a very big project. I may take time to find it. What I will do, I will try to see what it is coming, okay, and then I will find it now. Okay, if we get result, then we don't need to go to this URL and process it again. So I will do return from here only. Okay, regarding the geo point, let's see what result is coming, and maybe I can figure it now, or we will try to find some other method. Let's see, we get any error. Okay, no error. Let's see what we are getting it. Before getting it, I will uncomment this part. We're getting the result. In the result, we have attributes. We have geo, and inside geo, we can get using the latitude as a function. Okay, so just we'll try to get it. Geo dot latitude is a function. Let's try this way. And for this, we will see longitude. Okay, and then we will see what is going inside the user all, whether I am getting correctly or not. We get result. Okay, this latitude is wrong. It's saying latitude is long. Maybe it's not function. Geo, latitude, longitude. Okay, it's direct one, no function. Okay, let's try now. Okay, getting the current position. We are getting user all. Here we have to see what payload is going. So we are getting properly latitude and longitude correctly. So this is the way. Once we get the geo field, and we have to just append dot latitude and dot latitude. So this is the object we are getting from the database, and we update the user all also, and we update the current geo also. And both can be seen here in the site reducer. If I see the current geo, I will get it from database. That's the reason it is in this object format. And we have all the information here. We also get IP data from another place, and we updated the geo info also with the city, country, latitude, longitude, postal code, and state. The only thing is we need to update the IP. IP can be updated where we have sent the reducer, that is where we have sent this IP update part. There we will get the IP, and then we can update the IP in our Redux also. Because you will see in the geoinfo, IP is empty. So we have to put IP from other place, but at least we got all other information. And it is coming from database. Let's double check in database if we got it correctly. We have users location. Okay, by mistake it has created 2 records. Let's delete both the one and we will create it fresh. Okay, let's do it again. Refresh it. Since now it is not in the database, so it will create a database. Now if I refresh it, we got it here, and we have all the information here. Now if I refresh it, it should not create new record in the database. So it is one record only. I refresh again. So it's giving me the result from the database and not from the URL. So we are calling the URL only once, and rest all is taken care from this database. So here we know the information of the user from where he is located. Okay, so before I go further, you just put after latitude longitude, just put this part up till here. Let me know once it is done. Is it done? Hello, is it done? So whatever we are doing now for this project, some things will be used in many other projects, like this geo position. I prefer to take it in my all projects which I do. Or if you don't prefer, you can skip it in another project and you don't put the code for another project. So, but you should have everything ready and you may use it in some project or not. So, for example, if you're building like restaurants nearby, so this information is very important. But if you're building like my notes, then this information is useless. We don't need it. That's the reason. It depends on what you are building and whether you need it or not. So if you have this repository in your folder, if you need it, you can just go and grab it. So next time you can easily go and grab it for your project. But if you don't need it, then just delete that code, don't use it. So now we are checking this information before we save it in the database. And if we don't have in database, we will save it in the database. That's the idea here. Let's revisit the IP data where we get this information. Okay, this is the information we get it from this one, and we are trying to save this information. Okay, let me double check what if I need to do any changes in this. Okay, I don't feel it now to do any change, but if I feel, I will do it in future. Let's try to do one more change in the routing tree where we call the IP data and we give this IP data. Let me see what data is coming. I'm getting this data and I'm getting this information this IP information here. Okay. So we have this IP. So let's trigger. We have postal code, we have state. I'm just checking what things are missing here. We have country. This country is in the US format, like this format. There we are getting the full format. Here is the city. Okay, we have the latitude and longitude. So this is based on the IP. We are getting information based on the IP. And if I see what data is coming first is IP data is coming, and then we're getting site current geo. So right now, if you see, we are getting the IP data first, and we are getting site current geo later afterwards. Okay. So let me create one object here. And this object will be nothing but what we have here, all the information. Okay, so to get the latitude, I will say data dot get latitude. Similarly, I will copy for everything. For LNG, for city, for postcode, what here I am getting, or postcode what I am getting. Here I am getting postal. State, for state I am getting state. For country I am getting country. I will also get IP here because this is IP data, so I'll put IP here. So we are getting this. Let's pass it to the, okay, let's pass it to the okay, let's pass this to this one. Okay, I'll remove IP. I will pass this information to user all. So I'll say store.dispatch, and here I'll put type as user all, and payload is nothing but this object. And I will also create one more dispatch for IP because I need to update the IP also. I'll add one more information for the IP, and IP will be nothing but data.get IP. So what I'm doing, I'm updating the IP and I'm updating the user all from the IP data, because IP data will definitely build there because it is based on the IP of the user. Even if he has not given access to the geolocation, if you see in the browser, my access is allowed, location access is allowed. If user has not given this permission also, then also based on the IP, I will get all this information. Okay, but with the geo part, what we are talking about, this geo part will only come when user will give the permission to yes. Here I have given the permission of yes. That's the reason I am able to go to the geo part. But 99% people will not give the geo permission because they don't want their access location to be accessed. But we want at their location. So consider this will be only 1% of user will allow. So I need to get the information from the IP data and put it in my Redux. So even if user has given the permission or not, I can access this one. So if user has given the permission, first this will get updated in the Redux, and then this will get updated in the Redux. So anyhow, I will get some information in the Redux, either from geo portion or either from the IP data. And if user has not given the permission for the geo, I will get some information of the user from the IP data. So even if, let's say, tomorrow this query is slow, then this will get updated first and then this will get updated. That's fine. I'm okay with that also. At least I need some information in my GeoInfo Redux position. You're getting me what I'm saying? Either I can get it from here or I can get it from here, or I can get it from both. If both will update, one will update and another will overwrite, it's fine. And if only one is coming, then it will update my Redux. So at least I will get one information in my Redux from one of the location. You are getting the difference between the geo part and the IP one. Is there anyone who don't understand the difference between the two? Okay, so since you are not clear, that means I need to explain it again. This is the user. He comes to my website. Okay, so he has its IP from where he is accessing. From the IP, I will get his information, where is he located. Okay. Even if he don't give me permission of his location, based on the IP, I will be able to track his location. Is that clear? Based on the IP, I will get his location, right? And once I get this location, I am calling this function to get the location detail, and I will get his location and I will update my Redux store using these three calls. Okay, so we are updating the Redux from location which we got from IP data, because IP will give some data or location and I'm updating the Redux from here. Now Redux is updated with this location. Let's say Redux is updated with IP data location, and location is, for example, Fremont, just example. Then I will ask user to allow to locate him using the geolocation of HTML file. If he don't allow me, whether I will get his location, yes or no? This is the, based on the IP, we got the location. So if geolocation is something which he gives me here, he'll see this point, this is the part, location access. So my question is, we are getting the data, location data from the IP. Already we got his location. But once we got this location, I will ask the user, whether are you allowing me to geolocate? That means whether he is allowing me this or not. If he don't allow me, can I get his location? Can I know where he is located? Yes. Why? Because from IP I already know his location. Why? From IP I already got his location. Right. So we don't care. If he don't allow, we don't care. Let him not allow. I already got his location. But if he allow me to access geolocation, I will get another location details from geo. Then I will overwrite my geo info in my Redux with this geo. So if he allow me, then I will take this data and overwrite the information in my geo info, this place, in my geo info. So if he give permission here, I am getting data from here also, I am getting data from here also. And both are updating at one place, that is this place. I don't care whether it is coming from IP data or geolocation. At least I am getting all this information. If I am getting all this information, I don't care any other thing. I am at least getting the information. And if he tomorrow, if he disable the geolocation, then also I will get his location from IP. So from both the places, I am able to access his geo information. That's what I mean. Right? Did you got what I said? Okay. Now let's see if we are getting the proper update, and then we'll optimize little bit now before we. Okay, so after everything is done, I will check the reducer. What is the information we got? We got current geo because I have given the access. We got geo info with IP, with city, with country, with latitude, longitude, postal code, state. We got IP data from the IP, and we got user info because I'm logged in, and is logged in is true. Let's try to disable this geolocation, and I will refresh it. I disable the geolocation, it's saying error, user denied the geolocation. But if I see my reducer, site reducer, geolocation is disabled, so I'm not getting anything in the current geo. But I'm getting IP data because IP is there. And I'm also getting all the information in the geo info which I need. At least I know where he is located. So though he has disabled his geolocation, I'm able to access his location. That is what I mean previously. Now if I allow it and I refresh the page, now I will get the current geo also, geo info also. The only thing which I care is about this geo info. I don't care about this part. I don't care about update data. So now only optimization I want to do. But first, before I do any optimization, have you completed this part? Is it done, this part, in the routing 3? Okay, do it now. In the routing 3, I will delete this part. So just create object and call these two. Though I will optimize it little bit more later, I may delete few lines. But right now, just put it as it is. I will do few more changes to optimize it. So just you finish this and do small one or two small changes to make it more robust and appropriate. Okay, so I think everyone done with this. Now if you see, I am creating this object and I'm calling this dispatch 2 times. And then this is the third dispatch where I'm passing data. And this all information is coming from the data. So why not to take this code and put inside this part. So what I will do, I will copy this part and I will go to the reducer where there is IP data, where there is IP update. So we are just using these 3 lines of the code which I can directly put inside the IP update. So inside IP update, I'm getting this action payload is nothing but the data, this data. So, and I'm building these 2 lines from the data. So what I will do, I will take this code and try to put inside this IP update. So where there is a case of IP update, I will create one object. Instead of data, I will use action.payload because there is the place where we are getting the data. And instead of updating these 2 lines, we will update here only the IP and this object. Okay, so what I will do, I will update this like this. I will copy this part and in the IP update part, this part, after IP update or IP data, I will put geoinfo and I take the current geoinfo and update the few things here. Or instead of updating these few things like this, I will update with this object. So to update the object, I have to put object here. So can anyone tell me how can I put this object, this information here? Is object like this okay? I have to get this all information and put it here. Right, Rakesh is right. We need to put 3 dots and object. If I put 3 dot object, it will get all this information and put it here. But we need one more thing, IP. So let's add one more thing, IP also here. And then we don't need any other thing. So I put IP here only. We don't need these 2 lines. And then I updated here this information. Since I updated directly in the IP update, I will delete it from here. Now I will test it whether all is updated or not. So to test this part, first I will disable this location so that I am only concerned with the IP data now. I will refresh the page. So now I am only calling IP update and we will see if it is updated correctly or not. In geoinfo, I get all the information correctly. Okay, so rather than calling 3 times, now I made it only one call, that is IP update, and everything which I have put it here, I put it inside the reducer. So just delete it from here and put it inside reducer inside IP update, and we have to add one more IP part here. Just do this part in 1 minute. Okay, so let's see now. Let's refresh it, and we are getting it. Yeah. So we, based on this information which we got, let me delete everything here, and I will delete this part also, and I'll refresh it, or I'll go to login. So if I refresh the login page, you will see I will still get the IP update information because we have put this data in the routing part, and in the routing part it is affecting the logged in pages also and not logged in pages also. So even though user is not logged in, I will at least get his location. So let's go to sign up page. So in the sign up page also I will get this information. You will see I'm getting his information. So we need to send this information while saving this, saving when he sign up. We need to send the information in the database that user is logged in from this place. So that is what we will try to do in few days, not today. In few days we will update it because I need this information. And why I need this information is because we are building the campaign management. So in campaign management, I will create one campaign. For example, I will create a campaign called as no vaccines. Just a thought. Okay, don't put this one. Next, I will put it now. For now, I will put Modi. It's the Indian Prime Minister, Modi 2024. I want this campaign. So I want to see which users, how many users from India supported Modi, how many users from United States supported Modi. So when I create this campaign, I will ask people to join to my campaign. And let's say there are million people joining it. And I will see, let's say from India, we get 800,000 people, and from USA we get 200K people. So that I know that total million people supported Modi, 800 from India, 200 from United States. Then another person will come, he will create as Rahul Gandhi 2024, for example. And let's say he got 900K. So people will think that roundabout Rahul is about to win because he has more supporters. Maybe he gets 700 here, 200 here. So he get 100K less than Modi. So people will know. First, they will know that Rahul has less supporters. Second thing, they will know that from India, these many people are supporting this Rahul. So I need to, create the statistics. That's the reason I need. Whenever someone logs in or register on my website, he should have, I should have his location information also. But I will put this location information secretly without his, no need to tell him because this is the knowledge we got it from his information. But we will ask him also to put his city. Though whatever he put in his city, that information I will keep separate, and this which I got from the IP, I will keep it separate. Because tomorrow he is from here, this location, but he don't want to disclose this location. So whatever he put inside the form, that part I will take it for display purpose. But for my internal statistics purpose, I need the exact information. That's the reason I will take this information also. But I will ask him his own information also. If he wants, he can use that one. So we will fill this in few days. We will update this page in few days. Now before we got, I will do little bit, we'll talk about our main page in home page. Since we are done with the location part, let's concentrate on building this home page. So whatever campaign we have, I want to display that campaign here. Today I will only create the structure, folder structure, but tomorrow we will start building it. So let's build the folder structure. Let me commit it everything, and then I will do. Okay, if you see my logs, these logs are created, a lot of logs are created by the path server. I don't need right now all these log server. I'll just delete them. You can also do after a few days, a week or 10 days, just delete the log. We don't need those. Because since we're developing a lot of errors and info will be there, so don't worry about this. So let's delete that. Okay, this is done. Now let's try to understand the folder structure for my home page. So this is my campaign, and I created one file, create. I will create one folder called as home. That is the main page, where I will save all the information. So first will be I will create one new file that will be the home.jsx. Though we have already main home here, but I will not use this one. Okay, for this to make proper concern, I will put it inside this campaign, a new home. So first file I created is home. I'll just put dummy text here. Okay, let's see what other files we need to create now. So we have one file as home. Okay, let's create few more files. So this is the home entry point. This is the home entry point. So first file which I will call will be the layout. I will create one layout for the home. So I create one layout.jsx. This is the overall layout. How many columns will be there? That part will be decided here. So I just create home layout is another file. Next will be I will have the search part. So let's have the search one. Here search field will be there. So let's say right side or left side search will be there. And when user will search, or if user is not searching, then only I want to show the results. So there will be new file called the listings, where I will, or listing, where I have all the list of the campaign will be displayed. So let's create that file. Right now I'm just creating dummy files without any functionality. I'll be doing it soon. Next will be I have to display the counter. So display count.jsx. How many records are there? Something like that. Okay. Next will be the pagination, display pagination. I will put pagination part here. Okay, so this is the display pagination. Next will be the item.jsx. So listing will be having the all records, but each record, how each record will be displayed will be decided in the item. So I will create this item file also. Next will be the for this component campaign, I have some header which I want to put. So I will create just header.jsx. Okay, so this is also done. Yeah. So just create these files in the campaign, create a home folder, and inside the home folder, create display count, display pagination, header, home layout, item, listing, search. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just create 8 files. Remember, previously we were keeping the data in the state, right? We were using the state, use state. So now, though we will use the use state at some place, but main data will remain in the Redux. So we need to take care of this campaign action and campaign reducer, because the main data will be remain in the Redux. Few data will there in the on the page. That for that case we will use the use state, but it will not be used too much. Most of the things we will get it from the Redux. So just create these files and then we're done for today.